myAgro lets small farmers save money bit by bit to make big purchases.
Man la Penda Gueye dëkk Jéeful Parba maa yor bitigu Maam Cheikh Anta damay jaay ceeb dawlin suukar ay jimbo saabu omo ak beurre chocolat yëpp dama ko jaay ak carte sama mbay carte bi da nga indi xaalis soo indee xaalis ma xoos envoyé la ko sa compte kenn ku nekk sa compte.
Scratch cards purchased locally are familiar and convenient. The money farmers save allows them to buy seeds and fertilizer.
damay jox xaalis waa ma xoos carte bi ma xoosee kenn ku nekk dafa am sa numéro ID ak numéro bi ne ci carte bi foofu laa koy envoyé léegi bu sa gerte ma tey bu sa compte feesee nga dem jël sa jiwu.
gerte gi ak engrais bi ndax dama daa béy sans engrais du ma am engrais. tudd Ngoone Gueye dëkk Njéefun Parba di béy gerte dugub ñebbe bisaab wuute gi mi ngi nii message maa ngi nii bii mooy nekkoon doonu sama mbay gis nga bi nekk sama mbay am engrais gis nga ko ne gis nga ni mu wuuteeg bii amul engrais sama mbay avant muy ñëw ay jafe-jafe la ju fekk wala ñoo am jiw dañ daa denc suñu xaalis te doo yëg ñu ne la matal nga wala sa ndaa fees na dama déqi am gerte gu bari ma tànn am jiw moom laa ji nii jël ràkkal bi ma xonte sama xar jaay am 100 000 xar gis naa ci njëriñoo yëpp ak yokkute boobu.
Fertilizer is magic. We couldn't grow enough food to feed a third of the world if we didn't have this incredible addition that drives crop productivity. And so teaching farmers about it, getting them enough credit, making sure they're getting exactly the right fertilizer, it's a very important part of increasing yields for poor farmers. Africa uses almost no fertilizer. African yields are less than half of the US, and in parts of Africa, like Tanzania, it'd be more like a quarter to a fifth the yield. Fortunately, scientists have been working on getting soil so it yields the best it can, picking the right blend of fertilizer, where you have to go and look at your soil and see what's missing there. The world has gotten awfully smart about that. Bringing that knowledge to the smallholder farmer, we have a lot of work to do there. So if we can get this going, get the supply chain right, this can work. Part of that is education, part of it's infrastructure. It costs money to move fertilizer into the interior of the country, or you want to sell those crops to move them out. So as they get roads and railroads in, this type of intensification where fertilizer is necessary, that'll be a big deal. It's a huge upside when we do it right.
More than 3/4 of the poor people in the world are farmers. They're faced with a very tough problem. They have to grow enough food to feed their family every year. When you think of digital technology, you don't think of measuring soil moisture. You don't think about helping people know when to plant or understand what's going wrong on their farm. But if we can make these sensors small enough, cheap enough, then the chance to get this down to more and more farmers, get them additional productivity, it's pretty exciting.
We're taking this data and we built machine learning and AI models to do two things. One is virtual sensor prediction. So we are predicting things like leaf wetness, evapotranspiration, and solar radiation. We use the data to customize the model for the farm, and we are getting very accurate results for each one of those.
These sensors use a new type of connectivity that's very inexpensive. It's called TV white spaces. TV white space is unused bandwidth in between the TV broadcast channels. Governments are now allowing this bandwidth to be used to transmit data. In this case, it's the data coming from the field that goes back to the computers that helps create the best advice to the farmer.
What you're seeing here is a TV white spaces router. This is like your Wi-Fi antenna at home, powering all of this through solar panels. You just power this on and you get Wi-Fi on demand. in the farm. We use it to send drone imagery. Once the flight is complete, it'll start transmitting the data over the white spaces to do precision map generation.
Whoa.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back.
Cutting the leaves. Any data you can get to farmers can make a huge difference. The weather is always highly variable. Deciding should they invest in fertilizer, when do they plant, understanding which crop would be the right one at this time. Even 20% more productivity means that they can afford school fees, save a little bit for a tough year. You know, climate change is going to make the farmer's job a lot harder, and just closing that yield gap, even a modest amount, would make a huge difference for all those farmers.
Farming is in my blood. My father is a farmer, my grandfather, all my family. I'm Tenaw Muluye. I'm 25 years old and work as an agricultural development agent here in Ethiopia. I teach farmers the modern way of farming. It is an important job. Farmers often use the very old traditional farming method. It's backwards and not productive. The farmers, they know this. They set up appointments with me so I can show them a better way. We walk their fields, I teach them about seed varieties, when to spread the seeds, how to fertilize and rotate crops. I do this in a respectful way, and the farmers listen to me even though I am young. Nearly everyone in Ethiopia farms, but there's still not enough food to feed our people. This is a problem throughout Africa. Modern farming will help farmers to produce more. Then they will be able to feed their family and have extra food to sell. I believe if farmers are successful, it will make Ethiopia successful, and that will make all of Africa successful. This is my dream. Young Africans, we are productive. We have energy and new thoughts. We are the best chance to bring Africa prosperity.
I'm here in Washington State in the United States at the Bread Lab. They're doing a lot of great things with wheat, trying to make it more nutritious, understand what bakers need, really take wheat beyond just this production of the white flour that it's been mostly.
This is a farina graph, and pretty much all wheat breeding programs will use this, and it tells us about the strength of the protein in a variety of wheat.
The three big crops, rice, corn, and wheat, are global crops. Wheat is somewhat ignored, whether it's diseases or nutrition, and so it's fascinating that this group is thinking about wheat.
What we do in this lab then is bring everybody together. We have the farmers, we have us, we have the students, we have the scientists. We also bring in bakers, millers, chefs, folks throughout that chain, all coming together and informing each other back and forth.
Pakistan has some people here looking at the type of bread products that people want to eat.
I'm particularly working on bran layers. I am trying to modify them to make them suitable for the chapatis or for breads and cookies.
Everything I was eating was healthy, and usually I think, okay, I'll just have to put up with it. But in fact, they've got great bakers working now with the people who do these varieties. So that collaboration is why everything tasted really good. I learned a lot about wheat and some neat new things they're going to do here with it. I was recently in Australia to visit a cattle farm owned by the Australian Agricultural Company, one of Australia's largest producers of beef. It's important to remember that the weather system you live in affects your livestock a lot. Most of the world's poorest countries are in hot regions, so to understand how to raise livestock in a tropical climate, Australia is a great place to go learn from. They've been raising cattle successfully for over 200 years. It's actually surprising how well the cattle do in these conditions. They are thriving even in a very hot environment.
Coming to Australia and meeting the scientists at the leading livestock company was very helpful. They're taking this idea of digital agriculture and they're pioneering it. They're keeping track of the genetics of every animal. When that animal gets moved, they're able to weigh it and see which type of feed is causing the most gain. They're gaining a really deep understanding of beef production. But you know more about cattle than you know about people. They also have to make sure the animals get enough water and nutrients. Lactating cows during the summer require anywhere from 60 to 100 liters of water every day. And for nutrition, these cattle producers supplement the water with urea, which improves digestion and fiber, and they supplement with phosphorus to promote appetite, fertility, and growth. A lot of what they do here, we can't immediately take to Africa. But over time, these are the kinds of things that we hope can raise beef productivity pretty dramatically, even for a smallholder farmer in Africa. Agriculture is responsible for about 1/4 of all greenhouse gas emissions. So to stop the planet from getting substantially warmer, we need breakthroughs in many sectors of our economy, including how we grow food. Pivot Bio has a clean alternative to chemical fertilizer that could help transform farming and reduce climate change.
It takes 4 things to grow a plant: sun, water, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. A plant is really good at getting the first 3 of those, but it can't make its own nitrogen. Fertilizer is primarily nitrogen, and it's really what fuels and makes our food system possible. It's because nitrogen is ultimately a building block of life. Fertilizer's done all these great things, but it also has a lot of negative side effects. Making fertilizer creates a lot of pollution, and using fertilizer creates a lot of pollution as well. One of those forms of pollution is nitrous oxide, a gas that's 300 times more potent as a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. If we stopped using fertilizer tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to produce half of the world's food supply, but there's a possible replacement. And it lies in the soil beneath our feet. Microbes in the soil can also produce nitrogen for the crop. Before we had fertilizer, microbes played that role. But when we started breeding plants so that every harvest would produce more yield, we needed more nitrogen than the microbe in the soil could provide. And so we invented fertilizer. And we've caused those microbes in the soil to go into hibernation. We founded Pivot Bio with one mission in mind. How do we reinvent what it means to provide nitrogen to our crops? So if you pull a seedling out of the ground, attached to the roots are thousands and thousands of microbes. We can extract the microbes off the roots, sequence their DNA, and understand which ones have baked into their genome this ability to produce nitrogen for the plant. We know how to turn those genes back on, and these microbes can start making nitrogen again. If we can start drawing down fertilizer use, little by little we'll make an entire switch away from fertilizer. And that's just the kind of new solution we need in the face of a changing climate.